Breaking news tonight. California in flames. Raging infernos exploding from north to south. People found dead in their cars on roads cut off in a massive struggle to escape. And up and down the coast, it's paradise lost. Entire cities burned to the ground. Homes torched in Malibu and beyond.
This massive fire here in Southern California has now jumped the 101. It is making a run towards the ocean.
Tonight, firefighters overwhelmed. Flames scorching the size of 80 football fields every minute. Also, a war of words erupts. The NRA versus doctors fed up and speaking up after the latest mass shooting in America. And a mom whose son survived the Vegas massacre only to die in that bar issues a thundering call to action.
And I don't want prayers. I don't want thoughts. I want gun control, and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers.
New turns in those election cliffhangers in Florida, Arizona, and Georgia. Votes still being counted and lawsuits flying. Michelle Obama getting personal like never before, tearing into President Trump and revealing a painful chapter in her marriage. Who's recording you? New rules that everyone who uses Uber should know. The price you pay that could mean an early present for families. And Lady Gaga's private battle and powerful new message inspiring millions.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, reporting tonight from Pacific Palisades, California.
Good evening, everyone. As we come on the air, the famous Malibu coastline beneath a rising tower of smoke. There are flames powering up and down hard-to-reach canyons. There have been homes destroyed and thousands displaced near Los Angeles. The Woolsey Fire, as it's known, cutting a destructive path to the ocean, pushed by dry Santa Ana winds. And beneath our vantage point here, the Pacific Coast Highway, the primary route for 13,000 under mandatory evacuation orders here. All lanes now southbound towards safety. Statewide, however, there are at least 6 major fires burning and more than 240,000 people forced from their homes. The largest fire burning hundreds of miles to the north, claiming the lives of 5 people found dead in cars, apparently unable to outrun the flames. Our team has it all covered, starting with Gotti Shorts in Westlake Village.
Yeah, good evening, Lester. This is such a surreal scene for us, especially for those of us that live in Los Angeles. This is one of those places that we pass regularly when we're headed to the beach, and now you can see it's been consumed by flames. This is a hotel. Firefighters are working to knock out the fire before it starts spreading to other complexes nearby, and this is just one of the 75,000 structures in this area that is currently under threat. Did you get that? The wall of flames came in the dead of night. 2 fast-moving firestorms within miles of each other. Firefighters unable to stop their advance, instead focusing on evacuations.
Check to make sure we're good inside.
The fire department says, get out. He says, you're going to get trapped. The fire is on us.
The 101 freeway, one of the most traveled in America, shut down in both directions as flames jumped the road, making a run for the coast. This is a very eerie sight. Very seldom do we see the freeway completely empty. Right now, it's been shut down in both directions as the fire has now breached the freeway. It is burning towards the ocean.
Oh my God!
In the community of Westlake Village, neighbors watch fire tornadoes rip through their canyons. Were you able to get everything out?
Just my papers. That's all I got.
Delia Lowe says she's worried her home of 35 years might be lost.
Are you guys scared? Yes, absolutely. Well, we're safe, okay? We're safe.
Others evacuated with everything they could, including horses.
Fire was all around me. I couldn't see anything except smoke and fire.
And right now we're seeing people who waited for the last possible minute getting out while the flames just get so close. On the ridges above, firefighters worked to beat back flames that felt like a blast furnace. And just like that, the fire comes up the ridge. We're falling back for safety.
Evacuate the area.
And in Malibu, panic as an impending plume of smoke threatened more destruction. The entire Oceanside city ordered to evacuate along the Pacific Coast Highway, causing traffic jams before the flames moved in.
It feels like the Garden of Eden just turned into gates of hell.
Even celebrities affected. Rainn Wilson, Kim and Kanye West, Alyssa Milano forced to evacuate. And Caitlyn Jenner's Malibu home reportedly burned to the ground. Also destroyed the historic Paramount Ranch where the HBO series Westworld is filmed. While another brush fire broke out in Griffith Park.
You can see the potential for this fire here.
Forcing the closure of the LA Zoo and the evacuation of some animals.
Southern California's Santa Ana winds unrelenting, the fire uncontained.
As we move forward, you know, we have predictions, but we don't know what Mother Nature's going to give us.
Communities now praying for relief from more tragedy and loss. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News, Westlake Village, California.
I'm Miguel Almaguer.
Heavenly Father, please help us.
These are the terrifying moments families fled the flames in Northern California.
There are embers blowing under my car.
Some in the city of Paradise living in hell, narrowly escaping with their lives.
But we're gonna get fire.
No, we're gonna get out of here.
As fire closes in, Joe Allen trying to keep 3-year-old daughter Olivia calm with a song.
Baby, it'll be alright.
The Allens making it to safety, but tonight 5 bodies have been discovered in vehicles consumed by flames. The inferno moving at 80 football fields a minute.
We're just trying to protect structures. That's all we're doing.
In the heart of the firefight, an hour outside Sacramento, crews are losing ground. Our Kathy Park in the city of Magalia.
You can see how intense the flames are right now, consuming this home. You could possibly see a propane tank going up in flames. The flames continue to consume this area.
Tonight it's feared the number of fatalities could grow. For crews, it's too dangerous to look for the missing in places like this.
It was just huge, and I said, oh, if we're gonna all die, we gotta get out of here.
Exploding from 10 acres to more than 70,000 in a matter of hours, firefighters are outmanned and overmatched.
That fire, from the second it started, was off to the races, quickly grew within minutes, and was well off to burning at dangerous rates of spread.
With 50,000 evacuated, most of the city of Paradise is gone. The so-called campfire damaging 2,000 structures, with more under threat. Tonight, evacuees and firefighters are among the injured. And it's unclear how many have been killed. A hospital evacuated, the elderly rushed to safer ground, no time to spare.
When I get down here, everything's on fire. Even our ranch is on fire. My house is on fire, everything.
With families like the Allens narrowly escaping with their lives.
Look, we're past it. We're out of it, okay? Yay! Yay!
They may have lost it all, but still have each other after fleeing Paradise. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Well, back here in Southern California, as the flames were rapidly spreading here, we were just a short distance away last night reporting from the scene of the bar massacre that left 12 dead. Tonight, shocking new details about the gunman. Law enforcement officials say he posted on social media as he carried out his rampage, saying he was bored but sane. His motive, however, still a mystery, as we now know the identities of the 12 killed, including a police officer, a father of 2, and college students. The NRA has not commented on the massacre, but something the gun lobby group tweeted just hours before it happened has sparked a fierce feud with many of the nation's doctors. NBC's Katie Beck explains.
27-year-old Tel Orfanos was killed Wednesday night. One of a dozen lives lost in California's borderline club shooting. He survived the Las Vegas concert shooting last year, but sadly not this time. His mother, Susan, tells KABC TV she wants change.
I want gun control, and I hope to God nobody else sends me any more prayers. I want gun control. No more guns.
Parents are part of a growing chorus of concern over gun violence, one that now includes doctors. Do you think gun violence is a public health issue?
I think it's a public health crisis. I think we're all in it.
Now, a war of words raging on social media between the National Rifle Association and doctors. On Wednesday, before the California shooting, the NRA firing back on Twitter against a doctors group that said physicians should be talking to patients about gun safety. Someone should tell self-important anti-gun doctors to stay in their lane. The tweet sparking fury in doctors across the country. We are not anti-gun, we are anti-bullet holes in our patients. Do you know how many bullets I pull out of corpses weekly? Dr. Michael Abutanos says he already talks about gun safety with his patients.
When we're dealing with this on a daily basis, the trauma that we're seeing, we're the voice.
But still a fierce debate with no solution in sight. Katie Beck, NBC News.
More breaking news tonight. Those election cliffhangers. Major races still not called in Florida, Georgia, and Arizona. Votes are still being counted, and now lawsuits are flying. Here's NBC's Kerry Sanders.
Tonight, it's Florida, Florida, Florida again.
Those votes be declared invalid.
At issue, tens of thousands of still uncounted votes.
Let's get to work.
For Senate candidate Republican Governor Rick Scott, the vote totals are narrowing from a 56,000 vote lead election night to a 30,000 gap the next day. And tonight, less than 15,000 votes.
I will not sit idly by while unethical liberals try to steal this election.
Scott, without evidence, blaming Democrats. President Trump today.
And all of a sudden, they're finding votes out of nowhere. Although I hear, well, I don't know, you tell me.
Incumbent Senator Democrat Bill Nelson says you can't claim victory without first having a complete vote count.
Votes are not being found, they're being counted.
The confusion in Florida in several counties.
That vote is invalid.
It's a lot like the 2000 presidential meltdown, only this time, no hanging chads. In the hotly contested governor's race in Georgia, Democrat Stacey Abrams challenging the results, hoping to force a runoff with Republican Brian Kemp. And in Arizona, a razor-tight Senate race, as hundreds of thousands of votes are still being counted. By tomorrow afternoon, Florida may have no choice but to order a statewide recount. Lester?
Kerry Sanders, thanks. And with his pick for acting attorney general under fire, President Trump is defending his choice while also seeming to distance himself from the new man overseeing Mueller. The president saying he doesn't know Matt Whitaker, even after saying exactly the opposite. Here's Peter Alexander.
President Trump arriving tonight in Paris, hours after lashing out when asked if he wants Matt Whitaker, his acting attorney general, to rein in special counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation.
What a stupid question that is. What a stupid question. But I watch you a lot. You ask a lot of stupid questions.
As a conservative commentator, Whitaker publicly sided with the president, arguing the Mueller investigation goes too far, even suggesting ways to undermine it. Mr. Trump today insisting he hasn't spoken to Whitaker about being involved with the probe.
It's up to him.
And trying to put some distance between himself and the man now running the Justice Department.
I don't know Matt Whitaker. Matt Whitaker worked for Jeff Sessions, and he was always extremely highly thought of, and he still is. But I didn't know Matt Whitaker.
But that's not what he told Fox News a month ago.
But I can tell you, Matt Whitaker's a great guy. I mean, I know Matt Whitaker.
With demonstrators rallying for Mueller to be protected, critics are calling on Whitaker to recuse himself.
I don't think we can expect that Matt Whitaker can fairly oversee an investigation when he doesn't think it's necessary.
As for a permanent AG, the president says there's no rush. Peter Alexander, NBC News, the White House.
As all that plays out, the president has just touched down in Paris, and he's already taking a swing at his host. Kristen Welker is there for us tonight. Kristen, what's the latest?
Lester, good evening. It is striking that President Trump is lashing out at French President Emmanuel Macron. He's here to celebrate peace among allies, the end of World War I. This all started when Macron suggested that Europe should build its own military to protect against outside forces, including the U.S. Well, President Trump, upon landing, fired back, tweeting that's very insulting. Now, the two were once so close their relationship was described as a bromance, but now that's fizzling amid a range of foreign policy differences, all setting the stage for high diplomatic drama this weekend. Lester.
Kristen Welker, thank you. Former First Lady Michelle Obama is opening up like never before. In her candid new memoir, Mrs. Obama reveals the things she'll never forgive President Trump for, and her private battle with something many families struggle with. Here's Andrea Mitchell.
No, our motto is, when they go low, we go high.
After fiercely guarding her privacy in the White House years, now the most revealing memoir ever written by a former First Lady, ripping President Trump's false accusations about her husband's citizenship as bigoted and dangerous. What if someone with an unstable mind loaded a gun and drove to Washington? What if that person went looking for our girls? Donald Trump, with his loud and reckless innuendos, was putting my family at risk, and for this I'd never forgive him. Writing her body buzzed with fury after the infamous Access Hollywood tape.
Hi.
Something she had slammed at the time.
A candidate for president of the United States has bragged about sexually assaulting women.
Today, President Trump hit back.
I guess she wrote a book. She got paid a lot of money to write a book, and they always insist that you come up with controversial.
Most of Obama's book focuses on her life story, intimate details like a devastating miscarriage, telling ABC's Robin Roberts.
I felt lost and alone, and I felt like I failed because I didn't know how common miscarriages were, because we don't talk about them.
Conceiving both Malia and Sasha through in vitro fertilization. And although to the outside world the Obamas appeared to be the perfect couple, even they struggled to make it work.
Marriage counseling for us was one of those ways where we learned how to talk out our differences.
She now embarks on a book tour befitting a rock star. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
Tonight, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is out of the hospital. The 85-year-old fractured 3 ribs in a fall, but the court says Ginsburg is doing well and working from home. What you say in an Uber could come back to haunt you. Just ask members of an NHL team who learned the hard way after video of their recent ride was leaked. Now, as Jolene Kent explains, Uber is changing policy.
It's something so many of us have done.
If you actually do pay attention, he doesn't ever teach you anything.
Sounding off while in an Uber, thinking it's a private place. Here, NHL players on the Ottawa Senators complained about their assistant coach.
I didn't even have a meeting. I haven't paid attention in 3 weeks.
Little did they know, the driver's camera was recording every word, later posting their high-profile dirty laundry online, going viral.
I think it's a violation of your privacy.
I wouldn't want to be recorded without knowing.
The driver told an Ottawa newspaper he had the camera in his vehicle for protection and regrets posting the video. It comes after another Uber driver in St. Louis live streamed 700-some rides without passenger permission. Uber has now changed its rules, saying broadcasting a person's image, audio, or video recording is a violation of Uber's terms and may result in loss of account access. The company banned the drivers permanently. But the new policy does not ban drivers from recording passengers for security reasons. The bottom line, watch what you say and where you say it. Jolene Kent, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Also tonight, just in time for Thanksgiving travel, good news at the gas pump and the powerful message from a superstar hitting home for so many. We're back now with an early Christmas gift for American families. 2 weeks from the Thanksgiving travel rush, gas prices are tanking, which means more money in your pocket. But there could be trouble ahead. With more, here's Tom Costello.
It's happened so fast you may not have even noticed. Pump prices have dropped like a rock, down 6 cents in a week, 17 cents in a month. Unleaded now averaging $2.72 a gallon nationwide, the lowest level since April. The reason, an abundance of oil on the world market.
The country is saving $75 million a day versus what we were shelling out just 4 weeks ago. The average household, well, call it about $2 to $3 every tank they're saving.
And prices could continue to drop as AAA predicts a record 48.5 million of us will clog the roads for Thanksgiving. That's 5% more traffic than last year.
And I waited and dropped down by 9-10 cents, so it means a good holidays. The holidays are coming, so it's a good thing.
But experts say gas prices could go back up by Christmas as U.S. sanctions curtail Iranian oil exports and other oil-producing countries consider cutting back. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Next up, the dramatic rescue caught on camera. Stay with us. She's a music superstar who most recently earned raves for her performance in A Star Is Born. But behind it all, Lady Gaga has fought a private battle that she opened up about last night with a powerful call to action. Here's Joe Fryer.
In front of a star-studded audience, Lady Gaga received an award and delivered a message.
That when it comes to mental health, we can and we will make it a priority by leading the way.
That topic was the focus of her 23-minute speech at a SAG-AFTRA Foundation Awards ceremony. Lady Gaga opened up about her own mental health battles, including depression and suicidal thoughts.
We need to share our stories so that global mental health no longer resides and festers in the darkness.
Last night, she referenced recent mass shootings, including Wednesday's bar massacre in California. Investigators still don't know the gunman's motive, but said the veteran might have been suffering from PTSD,
which is a mental issue. We know that this is dangerous. We know that it's important, and we have to pay attention to it.
I don't sing my own songs.
Why?
I just don't feel comfortable.
The singer-turned-actress has a leading role in A Star is Born, a movie that deals with mental health. By speaking out, she wants to raise awareness, hoping to see more programs devoted to this vital issue. Joe Fryer, NBC News, Los Angeles.
I want to show you now an amazing rescue caught on dash cam. A car in flames against a highway guardrail in New Jersey. 2 troopers racing to save a man who was unconscious and had his foot still on the gas pedal. With the flames growing, they finally managed to pull him out. Luckily, no one was seriously injured, but a couple of heroes there. And we're back with more from Southern California after this. Over my shoulder, you can probably still see that plume of smoke rising over the Malibu area. We'll continue to monitor the fires in California throughout the night, and of course, full coverage over the weekend from our team fanned out across the state. But for now, that's nightly news for this Friday. I'm Lester Holt. For all of us at NBC News, thank you and good night.